Hello, welcome. It's me, Danyell Carmelita, your favorite tarot reader and astrologer. And welcome. We're doing something different because I have a Mars in Gemini and I like to shake things up, and a Venus in Gemini. So I like diversity, I like change. You never really see consistency on this channel. Anyway, but if you are interested in love, career, money, relationships, we have it all here. Your answers will be answered. So you came to the right place. Now, let's pick a card. If you are new to picking a card, then what you're going to do is you're going to pick a symbol. 1, 2, 3. You're going to pick one of these symbols. It will lead you to your reading. Now, before you pick your reading, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and even comment on if the reading is resonating with you. Also, I have availability if you want a personal one-on-one reading, so check the link down below. If you are interested in being a tarot reader, I have a free link for you to learn tarot just for you. Okay, so let's get started. Here are the symbols. Here are the groups. Go ahead and pick one now. Welcome, Pile 1. Welcome to your reading. Now, this could be for your relationships. It could be for friendships. It could be for money. It could be for career. It could be for just the overall theme. And I am going to explain it as I go. On the side here, I have, if we're dealing with relationships, I'm going to pick some charms for that. If we have some overall issues, we're going to pick some charms for those too. So you have it all in this reading. Welcome. I hope you enjoyed. The tarot deck that I'm using is the Dark Heart Tarot. So let's get started. I just cleansed for the reading. Ooh. Okay, so we have some cards here. Now the 5 and a 6. I will explain it. Oh, okay. As I go. Okay, so let me explain before I keep going. So this is the present, yourself. This is your current situation, whether you're dealing with relationships or love, if you're dealing with money. This is what is happening now, and it is the 5 of Blades. And the 5 of Blades is normally thinking that you have done something shady, that you have done something, you're not proud on how you won. There was a competition and maybe you won the battle, but you're not really proud about yourself currently on how you're winning. And this could be dealing with anything. It's a matter of what you want this reading to be about. In numerology, 5 is always representing conflict and change. So currently there could be some conflict and change, and a lot of human race doesn't really like change or conflict because there is fear whenever there is conflict and change. Also, when we have the blades, we're dealing with your logic and the way that you're thinking. We're also dealing with communication. So there could be some change in conflict in the way you're communicating, or conflict in the communication that you're receiving, or the way you are communicating. Also, gossip is what I can get with this card. And what else? If we're talking about love, maybe there's an issue with your emotions, and maybe you're not thinking logically, and maybe you probably tried to pursue someone in a matter that you were not really proud of. And this is more not really thinking logically like you should with this card. So that is the current situation that you're in, group 1. Next, we have the 4 of Blades. Now, this is the problem. So this is how you currently are, and this is the current problem. This represents the current problem you have at this time. This is something you need to resolve in order to move forward. And Of course, you can see, I don't know if you can see, but in this card, this person is resting and resting their mind. Maybe you are not resting, or maybe you are resting too much. Maybe you are not resting your tongue, resting the way you're communicating, resting your thoughts. Maybe you need to meditate, relax, stop talking. Is what I get with this card. You could be mentally exhausted, and that could be the current problem now. Maybe you're thinking too much here, and God is trying to tell you you need to take a break and rest. A lot of times, seeking problems, you don't need to talk it out. A lot of times you need to think about it and meditate on it. And this is God saying that with here, and that is the current problem, group 2, that you're having. And this could be with anything, your job, your career, with your money, and love and relationships. You're doing too much talking, too much communication, too much thinking. Here is a negative thought, and you need to rest. You need to give it a break. Now we have the past. This could be dealing with events in the past. This could be dealing with events in the past and how it's going to shape your future or your current situation. This can lead us to how do we end up in these affairs? And it's very interesting because we're still dealing with the same suit, and it is the Knight of Blades, and it's in reverse. It should be like this. Normally it's very fast energy, very logical, very practical. I mean, not practical, very intelligence is what I think with this card, and fast intelligence and quick with your words and very witty, and it's in the reverse. So this makes me think, especially with this card, that you are really angry and that you probably said things that you shouldn't say, or there were a lot of words out of anger. You're not aligned with your logical self, clearly. Maybe you voiced a negative opinion, a harsh opinion. The logic is just all out when this Knight is in reverse. Also, too, it's someone who's thinking more about emotions and not even thinking logically. And I can see, so whatever you did here in this past, it wasn't nice. It was something out of anger, and there was no logic involved. I'm sorry if I keep saying logic, but that's what I get when I get this these cards. We get communication, logic, and the mental part of the brain. And this here is what caused this, and this is the problem. You need to rest your tongue, okay? Ooh, it's just all coming together. Okay, so now we have the future. The future is amazing because it is the Fool, and the Fool is all about, first of all, it's Uranus. That's the planet it represents. And Uranus is all about unexpected events and also being very free and also a new journey. You see the 0, and the 0 is a new journey. And the Fool is someone who's somewhat like naive, right? So someone who is starting a new journey, they're going to expect some unexpected situations, which is fine because you're free now. So I would take all this, rest, and start a new journey. Start over. Forgive yourself first, because the Fool packs light, and usually the Fool has like a little stick with a little bag, and the baggage is light on this new journey. The baggage is really just the tools that God has given you, which is your logic, your intuition, the fact that you're very practical and consistent and persistent, and creativity and faith, right? And more. But it's really just the tools that God has given you. It's not the negative baggage that you have collected over time. And this is what you need to start. This is what you need to do. This is your future. Now let's pull some next cards. So this card right here in the middle is your conscious. Wow. This card is the focus of what you are currently focused on. This is where your mind is currently. This card can represent your goals and your desires regarding the situation. So if it's about love, career, marriage, whatever the situation what brought you here, this is what this card is about. This also could represent your assumptions, and this is very interesting because this card is all about someone who was on a stage and they were celebrated, and now we're into this energy, which is about fighting your haters. This is also someone who has to keep persevering, because the haters are now, you know, you were once praised for something and now you have hate. But this is what you are focused on. It's not necessarily the truth. It's not necessarily what God is really saying to is going on in your life, but this is all that you are paying attention to. This is what your conscious mind is paying attention to. But you need to understand that even though things are not in your favor, it's not about giving up. It's about staying strong and persevering, okay? Also, I want to say it's not about focusing on the haters, okay? Let's see what your unconscious is telling you. The unconscious is really talking about what's really driving the situation, not what you are just focused on. Your feelings, your beliefs. This card could also be like hidden motives or your hidden influences. Okay, and let's see what we have. Ooh, we have the King of Cups. So this is a person who, so unconsciously, either you are very intuitive or there is love in the air, because this is someone who's very romantic, or there is a water sign that you're really focused on. So that could be a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Someone who is of older age, someone who's very emotionally intelligent. Maybe this could be you. You are unconsciously this. You are someone who is intuitive, and maybe you're not listening to your intuition. You are someone who is very caring and nurturing, and you're not following that. And it's very unconscious, and it is really something, maybe the reason why you had all these things is because this was the initial thought that you were doing it, but it came out the wrong way. Now let's see your influence. Your influence is how you see yourself. So in this situation, how do you see yourself? And how that perception plays out in this situation. We have the 8 of Crystals. So this is someone who's very progressive and who can move. There's also growth with this card, and there is travel. So either if this is career or work, there is movement and travel. Or if this is love, there is movement and progression when it comes to love, and even probably moving on, okay? You see that you can move on, and that's very interesting because we have this card here that represents your future. So you are someone who can probably adapt and move on. Now, that is your influence, or maybe someone is in your energy and you see that it is time to move on and grow. But let's see what the external influence is, right? The external is the same thing. The external influence, well, it's not the same thing. The external influence is the 2 of Crystals, and this is someone who is gathering information. So your external influence is telling you to do some more research, either more research in your relationship, more research in yourself to improve in relationships, more research in your trade if you're trying to go to school, more research in the financial dealings that you're dealing with. That is what that card represents. Ooh, okay, we have some cards that fell out. Now your hopes and fears is this card, and it's the Knight of Pentacles. This could be either your secret desire or maybe something you're trying to avoid. And the Knight of Pentacles is a very slow moving, it's the slowest knight of all the deck. This is also someone who pays attention to detail, someone who's very practical, someone who has patience, and they know that in the long run, this is going to work out. So this is something that you could fear, or this is something that you could secretly desire. So maybe also if you're in a relationship, maybe this is someone who is an earth sign. So someone who's a Taurus, someone who is a Virgo or a Capricorn. Maybe you secretly like them. Maybe you know that will balance you out because you probably have all water and you need earth to balance you out. Or if this is someone dealing with money, you need to save. Also, this card is representing health. Someone who really wants to be healthy and they care about their health overall. Lastly, we have the 2 of Pentacles. This is your outcome. Everything that has happened is leading to this outcome. And this is someone who can multitask. This is someone who is doing a lot, juggling a lot in their life, maybe juggling to men, maybe juggling to career, someone who can also multitask and having two multiple streams of income, maybe someone who can work and have a relationship. Whatever it is, God is saying that you can have both, you can have it all, not necessarily all, but you can do both of them at the same time. And you have the ability to do that. That is your outcome. So maybe you're worried about your past and can you change to your future? Yes, you can, because God has given you the ability to do both. Have the past and let it go and to move on in your future. If this is someone who is worried about their money and their career, this is someone who can focus on both and maybe have two multiple streams of income. And if this is someone who's worried about relationships or friendships, this is also two, and two is about your relationship with God. So this is also could be dealing with, you can have a relationship with God and be true to yourself and have a relationship with a friend or a lover. Okay, so that is what we have. If this doesn't seem like it's fitting, I'm hoping all this connects to this, because you do need to start your journey over. You need to focus on the fact that you do have the intuition, focus on these hopes and dreams, and then you can do this duality here. But I just want you to know that this is someone who's flexible, someone who can multitask, someone who can do two things at the same time, someone who can have both jobs, and someone who maybe has a decision, but it's okay to have both, okay? Now, if we're dealing with love, or maybe if we're dealing with a career or an enemy, these are the letters picked. Maybe someone's name has these letters in them. I hope you can see those. So we have an SCYAF. If this is your love, if this is your career, if this resonates with you at all, then this is what we're getting for the letters. Let's get some overall. Okay, so first of all, these are somewhat of the same. So this is someone who is about freedom. Yeah, these are the same. So this is someone who is worried about networking, a group of friends. This is also someone who likes their freedom and like to think outside of the box. So that is what we get with this card. This is the 5th house, and the 5th house is really coming up, which is Leo season. It's very bold and courageous. There's also the energy of romance and love. There's affairs, there's fertility, and maybe when it comes to romance and love, you need to think outside of the box or do something unexpected. When you are trying to be creative, think outside of the box and do something unexpected. This is also very future and hope and dreams. So when pursuing your hopes and dreams, you probably need to be courageous. This is also self-expression and drama in this 5th house. So there could be some drama, and it could be unexpected things that are achieved, and being very, maybe you're very dramatic with your freedom, okay? And lastly, we're picking some charms here for group 1. We have a rose. We have a key. We have, I think those are peppercorns. And we have a mermaid. Ooh. So the rose, and a white rose is very Cancer season, but a rose is about God's love at work in the world. A red rose is about true love, affection, and strong desire. Now, the mermaid represents insight and awareness. So maybe when it comes to true love or something that you truly want to do yourself, there is an awareness and insight. Now, this is this is a kind of nut, and nuts represent fertility and masculinity, which is very interesting, is very balancing to this very feminine energy, someone who's very insightful, which we had here, and aware and true love. And there's probably fertility and maybe masculinity on the other end, which we do have this duality here. And lastly, we have a key, and the key represents personal knowledge, a key to unlock inner strength and contentment. So you have the key, to unlock your inner contentment and happiness. But there is some masculine, and masculine means like pursuing a birth project or pursuing something creative. That's what you have. Makes me think of the Sun card, someone who is very Mars energy, someone who is pursuing something. And also this 5th house makes me think of this because it's like the Sun, the Leo. The Sun is the ruler of Leo. So there is, and it's a masculine sign. So there is some type of creativity being born here, and you have the key to know, and you have the insight and awareness, and there is true love with this reading. So I hope this resonated with you, group 1, and please don't forget to subscribe, like, that helps me out. Even tell me what you thought about this reading. All right, see you guys next time. Bye. Hello, group 2. Welcome to your reading. This spread is for anything that you are here for. If you are here for career, love, money, relationships, we have it all for you. So this reading is going to explain the situations regardless of what the reason you are here for. So if you are here for career, money, and relationships, you're going to get your answers and understand the process through all these cards. We also have some extra divination tools, some charms too, if you're dealing with relationships and money. And if you're dealing with relationships or people, we can get a little bit further their names. We also have some dies, some astrology die to do the overall, and we also have some extra special charms here, which I love charm pulling. So let's get started with your reading, group 2. Also, the deck that I'm using for this reading is the Dark Heart Tarot. And also the person who created the deck also created this layout here. So first, let's talk about the present and the self. That is you. We're going to talk about you and your present situation. This is about what is happening currently to you right now, your current state of mind. Ooh, we have the 8 of crystals. So currently right now there is progress, there is movement. It's probably moving fast, but there is currently some progress and movement, regardless if it's on whatever it is, if it's your career, your job, your home, your relationship, your health, but there is some movement, there's some progress. Could also represent travel. Now let's see your current problem. This card can represent the challenge that you're facing right now. Something that you need to resolve in order to move forward. And we have the Page of Blades. So this could be maybe a young air sign, a Libra, Gemini, or Aquarius. Someone who's really young. It also is almost like a kid, right? Or someone who's really immature with this air energy. So someone who probably moves too fast, gossips too much. Maybe this could be even you, someone who is just now starting to think logical, but it's almost in an immature way. Gossiping, you're working on your communication skills. Maybe you are someone who can't communicate. Maybe you're someone who's not thinking and moving fast. Because this is also air energy. So it's also very masculine. So it's very external. So it's dealing with external people and external issues. So now let's talk about, so this is the current problem that you're having. There is this energy here, and let's talk about your past. This is about a past event, how this event could have shaped your current situation, and also helps us understand how this led to the current affairs of this moving too fast. It looks like someone who's clearly moving too fast here. So clearly here, this is someone who's moving fast, but let's see what got us to this situation. And ooh, in the past, maybe there was an opportunity here that God has given you, maybe a job, because we're dealing with the Ace of Pentacles. So there is a resource God has given you with job, with your health, with the energy of like, now we're going to start moving slow. And it looks like you're moving fast, or maybe there is a new job opportunity, there is a new money venture, a new home, something new with health. That is what we're dealing with this situation here. Also to whatever you deem as a resource. So if you deem a relationship as a resource, because that could be someone who has some seventh house in their natal chart, then that is important to you too. So, but the Ace of Pentacles is God is giving you a resource. And for some reason, this resource that God has given you is the problem with all this here. So let's look at your future. This could be what could likely be of a turn of events for you. This could be a short-term event and doesn't have like a long-term income, a long-term effect. This could be a short-term effect and doesn't represent the final resolution of this event. So let's see what we have for your future. Oh, we have the Three of Cups. So this is someone who's celebrating with girlfriends, hanging out with girlfriends, and your future looks bright when it comes to friendships. So in the future, even though you had some movement and there's just this immaturity here, and God has given you this opportunity and maybe you missed it, or maybe it was too slow for you and you're moving too fast. But in the future, there's a celebration with girlfriends here for you, right? May not be long term, but it's coming up for you in the future. This also could be someone who is hanging out with girls. Well, we'll see. Let's keep going. Now, we have the conscious, right? And this is something that you're focusing on. Now, it doesn't mean that you should be, but this is an energy that you are focused on. This is also somewhere where your mind is currently at, and this could represent your goals, your desires for the current situation, as well as your assumptions. And we have the Page of Crystal, and this is also a very young energy. So I wonder if you are young. This is a young fire sign. Here we had a young air sign, and the young fire sign is Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. And also too, I wonder if you're focused on a young fire sign, or focused on someone who is very fiery, okay? Someone who's very passionate, someone who's going to express themselves without any fear, someone who's very courageous and bold, someone who's embodying the Aries energy. So they're a leader or someone, but they're young at it. You know, they're not the king and queen of this. They are the page. So there's a lot of learning to happen here. So they're practicing their new confidence. And when they're doing that, there could be a lot of conflict and confrontations and fights even, you know, because they're practicing their confidence and they're courageous. But this is something that you're focused on. And this could be you if you are that sign. Now, this is going to, the next card is going to represent your unconscious. And this is what is truly what's happening, because this is the outward, but inside, this is what's truly happening here. This is about your feelings, your beliefs, your values, and could be also representing your hidden influences, okay? And we have the King of Cups. We had this card in the first reading. So if you came here doing this to the second reading, God is really trying to tell you something. So your unconscious is very intuitive and very nurturing and very compassionate. Also, this is a card of romance. This is a guy who's very romantic. He is the king though, so he's very emotionally intelligent as well. And people go to him for intelligence. And this is something that you probably embody naturally, and it's inside. The feelings are inside, which is very, this is a feminine energy. It's not, so far we've been dealing with masculine energy, so this is fitting that this is more internal. Also, this is a water sign. This is an older, more mature energy, water sign of Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, okay? Now let's see what your influences are with this situation, with whether it's career, love, or relationships. This placement of the card is going to represent how you see yourself, how your perception of yourself can influence this whole situation. What beliefs about yourself do you carry? And do you expand yourself or do you limit yourself? So let's see what we have. We have the Page of Cups. So it's so funny because inside you're the king, and here you are coming off very young. Someone who is not emotionally mature yet. Someone who is not very intuitive. Someone who is not very using your intuition, and someone who is not nurturing and compassionate and just working out of love. Because you're acting like you're new at it when you're not. You were born with this, okay? So this is what you think of yourself, and this is how you carry yourself instead of what's really on the inside here. And this is pertaining to anything. So you probably naturally, intuitively know what you should be doing when it comes to work and career, but you're acting like the Page of Cups here, okay? Let's see what your external influences are. And of course, that means the outer influences that affect you. And we have back this masculine energy. So inward, internally and with yourself, you see yourself more as water energy, very feminine, very nurturing, very intuitive kind of person, very compassionate and loving. And here we have the external energy. And this is God again, giving you something. God's giving you the energy of mentality and logic and moving fast, and it's all mental. And it seems like externally, the external influences are more about the mental part and not about your internal here. And you're also focused on fire energy. You're focused on masculine energy, but God has given you very feminine energy, and you're more focused on the pursuit and doing, and not really being, and spirituality. That's what I'm getting here. And intuitive, not more intuitive, but more internal energy. So let's talk about your hopes and fears. This card can represent two things. It can represent your secret desires or something you're trying to avoid, okay? Let's see what we have. And we have the Six of Cups. And the Six of Cups is all about your past. It looks like your hopes and fears is either that it's something nostalgia, something from your past, something from your memory. Also, this could mean personal growth. But this is something you're trying to avoid or something you secretly want to be. So maybe you secretly want to be how you were as a kid, or something you're trying to avoid your past when it comes. And this is your hopes and fears, okay? And I would say that you need to acknowledge and not avoid anything if you're avoiding anything. And also too, because when you avoid things, it starts to carry baggage, and the baggage gets heavier and heavier and heavier. And you may think you are fooling people by holding and carrying this baggage, but you are not. Even that it may not be physical baggage, because sometimes things come out, well, a lot of times things come out very physical. It comes out in your health, it comes out in your appearance, it comes out the way you speak, but people start to see the baggage. So you want to address this if you're trying to avoid it. If you secretly want to be like your past, you need to not live in fear, okay? And lastly, we have the outcome. This is what the resolution of this whole situation is going to be. And let's see what it is for group 2. Ooh, we have the 10 of Pentacles. So this is very positive when it comes to money. This is also very positive when it comes to family. This could also mean an inheritance coming your way. It's very abundant, and there is love and happiness when it comes to family and health, okay? And your outcome to me is very, very positive. And so if you're here for love, it's going to work out in a great way, especially when it comes to your family. If you are here for career, of course it's going to work out. If you see all these coins, yes, it's going to work out. There's going to be abundance here. It's very positive. However, you have to address everything else to get here. You cannot get here without addressing everything that was discussed before. So now let's see what we have for I have some extra divination tools here, and we're going to pull some letters for people that we probably are going to deal with. And let me lay these out. So we have a CAYMD. This may resonate with you with this reading, or maybe in the future when this outcome happens. Ooh, also we have the moon, which is very King of Cups, so it's very intuitive, it's very internal, it's especially how you are with home. It's also dealing with feminine energy. And then we have Gemini. So this is someone, again, we had all this air energy here, and the Gemini is all about someone who's communicating, someone who is also moving fast. It's ruled by Mercury, so someone who could probably be really good with technology and multitasking. And then we have the 6. And the 6th house is all about Virgo energy. So it's all about your pets and routine. And this is interesting because that's what you had here. So this is all about your systems and being organized. And maybe you need to communicate your organization and go off of what your intuition is saying and communicate that. So, or communication in health and pets. That's what this represents here. Now let's pull some charms. We have a bike. Oh, we have like poison here. And we have Aries. Okay, so an Aries is someone who likes to get it started, and they kind of think before they do. They're also very daredevil-ish, right? So I would think that maybe this energy is saying that you don't move too fast, because Aries is going to move. This is moving fast, this is moving fast, and it looks like you're moving slow. We know what a bike represents. A bike is about traveling, and especially in Gemini, it's about traveling in your local neighborhood. But you want to be aware of not moving too fast, not trying to be first, because that's what the Aries is. The Aries is trying to be first. And it's interesting because it's on this Page of Pentacles card, which is a fire sign. So if you're Aries, or you know some Aries, or if you're in this energy of trying to be first, it's talking about stop, slow down, it's hazardous. Maybe instead of a car, take a bike, is what God's trying to tell you, like slow it down, especially when it comes to your day-to-day activities. Okay, I hope, and if it's dealing with love, you're moving too fast, because the Aries is also about loving the newness of the relationship and not the longevity of the relationship. So if this is, if you're here for love, that is clearly what Aries energy is about. And if you're here for relationships, again, you're moving too fast. You need to slow down. Okay. I hope this resonated with all of you guys. And yes, if you like this reading, please, that it helps me out a lot. If you like, subscribe. Tell me what you liked about this reading. If you like me doing the charms, I could do that more often. Yes. And I will see you guys next time. Bye. Hello, group 3. Welcome to your reading. Let's get started. Now, if you're here for, it doesn't matter what you're here for. If you're here for career, love, relationships, is going to be answered in this reading. And let's get started. So we're first going to talk about your present self. This is about the current situation, what is happening now. It could also represent your current state of mind. And we have the King of Cups. So currently you are, it's very positive. You could be focusing on love. You could be a water sign who is older. So you could be a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, or maybe you are dealing with someone who's someone who is very emotionally mature, someone who's compassionate, someone who is nurturing, someone who uses their intuition, very in tune with their dreams. What else? This is the energy of someone who is very deep, someone who doesn't want to go the surface level. This is the situation currently at hand. So you're someone who's like, I want to go deep, I want to go internal, I don't want to deal with surface level situations. Let's see what else we have. Let's see what the problem is that you have, because you're here for a reason. And before I say what this card is, The problem could represent challenges that you're currently facing. And it looks like here that the problem is that this is the Six of Cups. This is someone dealing with their past, something that's nostalgia or some memories, something from your childhood. This also represents someone who needs to grow, right? Grow up. From their childhood, from their maturity. And this is the current problem. So something either from your past, which is very interesting because the current situation is very positive, or maybe you know someone who's embodied this energy. But the problem is that there is either not growth or something from the past that has come up. And this can represent anything. This could be the career, because the career is maybe something from your past is affecting your career. Let's see what else we have. Now we have the past, even though this is what you thought the past is, but this is the current problem. So let's see what the past is, because the past could affect the current situation you have here, this current problem. And we have the Nine of Crystals. So this is someone who needs to persevere, someone who needs to stay strong, someone who needs to persevere is really the word. So, you see that he's wounded, but he's still, and you know, things may look like they're falling apart, but he's still standing because this is fire energy. So he's going to be courageous. He's going to be confident regardless, and he's not going to give up. He's going to persevere. So this is the past. So maybe in the past, whatever, maybe you were trying to not give up with this, you were trying to persevere even though you had this going on. I wonder what, like, it's something here that you didn't want to give up. And this water energy is very about just living in the past. So I wonder if you are just living in the past and you're not giving up on living in the past. This is what I'm getting so far. Let me see what we have for the future. Actually, I'm gonna mix this up a little bit more. Okay, so what do we have for our future? In the future, we have some materialism, some addictions, right? This doesn't mean that it's permanent, but this is a major arcana, right? And the Devil card is all about addictions, materialism. You know, the devil is in sheep's clothing. So like someone who's falling for an illusion because they want the material goal. So you want to be aware of that. You want to be aware of false idols, materialism, addictions also is what you have here. And this is a major arcana. So maybe someone's going to lure you, and you want to be aware of not being lured, right? Because the devil is all about alluring and being very attractive to deceive you into getting what you think you should have gotten, but it's not the right way of getting it. Let's see what your unconscious is. And okay, so if we're dealing with career, this is probably a career that seems like it's going to be a great career, but it's not. Okay, and if we're dealing with some type of finance promise, this is just an illusion. This is not, it's very, no. If we're dealing with just overall, again, materialism, addiction, and addiction could be anything like binge watching Netflix, weed, it could be anything, just anything that you are addicted when you're doing too much. You're not in a balance, you're out of alignment. Also too, with the devil card, if we're dealing with love, this could be someone who may seem very attractive and you're like, oh, I really like this person, but this is not okay for you. Let me see what you are focused on. This is your conscious card, and this is what you are focused on. This is what your intentions, all your attentions are on. This is where your mind is currently. This also can represent your goals and your desires regarding the situation. And we have the Five of Cups. So this is someone who's thinking lack. The Five is also dealing with conflict and change, and the Cups are representing emotions. So there could be lack or a change when it comes to emotions. There's also grief with this card, someone who lost something. Also with this card, you get the energy of paying attention to what you don't like. You lost some things and you're like, I don't have enough, right? Interesting, because I'm just realizing that I think this card is usually the other way around, but usually they're crying about the things that they lost, but they do have something. And so with this Five of Cups, you want to focus on that. But there's a lot of emotions here. It's not really the energy of being logical and practical. It's more feminine energy, which you have here with the King of Cups, but this is the focus. Either maybe you're grieving, maybe you lost something. I wonder, maybe you lost something of the past and you're still grieving about that, or you broke up with someone from the past. And you're still grieving, because you can grieve over things, not just a person, but you can grieve over a situation or a friendship too. Now, let's look at your unconscious. And this is what's really deep down. You know, this is what people see, but internally, this is what it really is. And it's the Four of Blades. You need to rest, okay? This is someone who needs to calm their mind. A lot of times, a lot of people, when they do this card over, they're meditating. So this is an energy of meditating and relaxing your mind, relaxing your communication. You know, you don't need to call people. Just don't call anyone. Really be with yourself internally, because that is what we have here, especially with these cups. Rest your brain, rest your mind. Give yourself time to really think. Four, it's also about stability and structure. And so to have stability and structure, it definitely need to rest your mind. And it's the unconscious. It's almost like you know that you should be doing this, or maybe you are unconsciously doing this and you don't realize it. Because of the grief. So let's see what else we have for your influence. For your influence. And this is how you see yourself, okay? And this perception is playing out with this whole situation. This also represents the beliefs that you carry and how it affects yourself and others. So your influence is that you carry a lot of baggage, right? This is someone who's working really hard and you feel like you're working really hard. It could be in relationships, money, career, whatever it is, but you feel like you are holding the weight of the world on your shoulders. This also is a 10, and a 10 represents the beginning of the end. So maybe you know this is about to end, but you're still carrying this weight. Let's see what the external influences are for you. And we have the external influences are multitasking and juggling too much. And maybe the external people think like, oh, you can do it all. You can handle it all. And you feel like, oh my gosh, I have the weight on my shoulders. Because this is a person who has multiple incomes, maybe has 2 relationships, or maybe is hanging out with friends and your lover wants you to hang out with them and you're just doing it all. Maybe someone who is a parent and working, or taking care of home and working. It's just someone who is a multitasker. And this is the external influence that you have here. This represents the world around you and how it affects you. It could also represent your social and emotional environment and how others perceive you. So it's very interesting. It definitely relates to this, because you feel that everyone thinks you can do it all and you feel like you're doing too much. So let's talk about your hopes and fears. And the hopes and fears can be 2 things. It could be something that you're trying to avoid, or something you really wish you were more like, okay? And let's see what we have. And we have the Page of Crystals. So this is someone who was like, you know, I wish I was like, F it all. I want to be confident. I want to be bold. I kind of don't even want to worry about what people think of me. I just want to be like a young person who is just highly confident and doesn't have fear. This is the energy of Page of Crystals. This also is a young fire sign. So maybe you know someone who is very young, a kind of kid, right? And they are a Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. And they're very bold and they're very courageous and very confident. And this is your hopes and fears, okay? So either it's both, something you fear a fire sign, or you fear the fire energy. Maybe you have a fear that this is going to come up and you're going to be not caring what people say, and that really scares you. And you're holding your tongue, you're holding your confidence. It could be that, or also it could be the hope of being that way, okay? And let's see what your final outcome is. Okay, we had a card that was coming out. And the final outcome is once you work on all this, is that you are on a stage. People will celebrate you. They're going to congratulate you. You're going to be winning at the end of the day. That is the final outcome. It's very positive. So work on all this energy, whether it's relationships, whether it's career, whether it's your money. Work on this because at the end of the day, you're going to have a stage. I'm going to pull some letters here. And we have a C, we have an I, and we have a P. Let's see if this resonates within a relationship with you or someone you're dealing with when it comes to your career or love. CIP. I'm just saying this could be something in the future too. Also, we have the South Node, which is your past. Here, something in your past is coming up, karma, and then we have the 69, very past, and the 2 is representing your resources and your home and your body. So this is very past energy, which we've seen here. So this needs to be addressed, your past. So this is the sign of Cancer, this is the 2nd house, and this is the South Node. Let's pick some charms here. We have a rose, which is a heart. And oh my gosh, we have the moon. So this is about true love, and also God's like true love. And this is also, the moon is representing, let me show them closer. Your intuition and your inner self and your true feelings and who you truly are. The moon also is a ruler of Cancer. So I'm seeing that there's past written all over this. Someone who's really caring about their past, someone who's very, it also could represent very feminine energy, someone who cares about their mom. If your mom is in this is like true love with your mom or true love with feminine energy, true love with your intuition, true love with something in your past. And it's on top of this card, which makes me think you were grieving. So I wonder if you were grieving your mom or something. So let me know if this reading resonated with you. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed the extra divinations tools that I use. And I will see you next time. Bye. Oh, also, please don't forget to subscribe, like, let me know if it resonated, because that really helps me. Because I'm doing this for free. So see you guys next time. Bye.